Alright guys, so I'm here today to give you a quick little tutorial on my auto clicker that I just got done creating. So it's kind of like a 3-in-1 auto clicker. It's got the single point auto clicker. It has the multi-point where you can select more than one position to select and have different delays in between each one. I got inspired by this one from one of the auto clickers on the Android phone for I believe it was the OP Auto Clicker for Android. It was a pretty good one. That way you can actually set these points right here. And I'm going to go ahead and open that back up. Alright, so we have that. So they're basically in order at the moment. So spot number 1, if I go to click this and drag this, it'll change as you go. So that way you can click and drag where you want to. You can kind of fine tune as you go. And you can just keep on adding more and more points. And then go ahead and I wonder if I can. Okay, I can't do that. But I do need to add that remove last button back. But we'll go ahead and stick with the. Oh, jeez. I knew I shouldn't have clicked that many times. I guess I learned my lesson. So basically, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the other one. We can go ahead and hide these. Let me go ahead and move. One's back. That one's there. Go ahead and hide these. Close that out. So we're going to start off with the single point. We got the window title finder right here. This auto clicker is meant so where you can either turn it into a simple auto clicker where it'll click no matter what window you have open, or it'll be where you can actually be on another page and it will automatically open up the window that you have selected here. You can go ahead and find out which window that you want open. I've got my auto clicker here. It's the overlay OBS. And then if I wanted to open up, I don't think that settings will open up. Let me find a window. Some of these items for some reason do not show up. I do not know why. I'd have to figure that out. But so I'm going to go ahead and open up Discord. Let me see if it'll. Alright, well, of course now Discord doesn't want to work. There we go. There we go. So I've got that open. Refresh. And we've got Discords. So let me go ahead and select that. And once I go ahead and record the hotkey, select the position, and then I'll go ahead and open it up. So since that Discord, I went ahead and I minimized it. Whenever I go to start, it'll open it up, click at the desired location, and then minimize it. So depending on what timing that you have, if you have it set for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or if you're playing Roblox, it'd be like, I'd probably do 18 minutes just to kind of be on the safe side. That way it'll open up, it'll click, and it'll minimize your app so that you're not getting disturbed by it every so often. Why that didn't go back and click again, I do not know. I don't think it liked Discord. So we'll go ahead and go back with Roblox. I'll do that one. So if you already have the window open and you go ahead and start clicking, it'll basically just go ahead and keep it open. I'm going to go here. I'm going to minimize it and then open it up, click it. It's got a 10-second one or 1-second one. So it'll also move your mouse back to it so that if you were in the middle of doing something, you can keep doing it and not be interrupted if you're trying to do work on your homework or if you're trying to watch a movie, a video, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it. Alright, so we got that. And so the enable simplified mode is for just like we're trying to keep it on one screen, or if for some reason the window title finder is not finding it, you can go ahead and do it that way. But if you want to make sure that your auto clicker does not get interrupted, because then there's like sometimes you get pop-ups from Windows saying, hey, you need to do an update, or anything else that would pop up a notification on your screen, and you don't want it to get in the way of your auto clicker and then cause, like if you're playing Roblox, you stay inactive for 20 minutes, it kicks you out your game. And there's sometimes that you want to play your game and you're out of town or you're at school or whatever. You can go ahead and make sure that this does not get interrupted. So I'll go ahead and turn that on, and then I'll go ahead and keep that on. Well, yeah. So there we go. I'll enable simplified mode. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. It'll bring it up, and it's clicking. So let's go ahead and try to open up Discord. It will refuse to open up Discord. It will refuse to open up everything that is not the selected window. So that right there is what will help you. So once you go to, if you want to get back to where you can open stuff, you just got to stop the auto clicker and everything else can be open. This is the code that I was working on for the auto clicker. Go minimize that back. And then, so we got the multi-point is basically the same thing, except for you can kind of drag these things around and edit the positions and go ahead and start it. It's basically the same thing as the single point. The last thing that we have is ghost input. It's like a tiny task on steroids. In my opinion, it's better. It saves everything that you do, and then whenever you reload it, it's actually the full file. Because I have a bunch of issues with Tiny Task where I use it, I save it, and then when I go to reopen the file and start playing that file again, the file is corrupt. It cuts my recording short. It's either too fast or too slow. It almost never works. So I went ahead and made my own. It's got the playback speed. You can actually slow it down to fractions of a second. You can set it to 200 times speed. You can set it to 1,000 times speed. If you use the drag bar, it only goes up to 10. I don't know. I have to change that, but it's not really that big of a deal. So you got your repeat infinite indefinitely. We've got your repeat X times. I do have the light mode for those that like the light mode. I hate it, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it on dark. So we've got our settings. So once we open up our settings, we've got it to where if you play games that have bot detection or things like that, we've got it to where the human-like mouse paths, that's basically, instead of it being like a straight line or the same speed or whatever, it'll alter the speed and the angle so it's more human-like. It makes human errors. It's got the delay between the actions where you can kind of set where you're not as consistent, and then there's the pixel. So if you have a game that's good at picking up auto clickers or botting and things like that, you definitely want to have this, because if you're clicking on that same exact pixel over and over and over again, you're going to get flagged pretty quickly. So you could set a radius where anything around what X amount of pixels you have, it will not click on that same spot. So you can have, as long as you're not mandatory where it's like a very small button that you have to hit, you should be fine. But you can go ahead and change that for a better chances of not getting flagged. So you got your hotkeys that you can select right here. I thought about making the customizable one, but I kept having issues with that in the auto clicker section, so I just said I'll just keep it with the basic drop down menu. So I'll go ahead and record one and then play it back, and then I'll go ahead and save it and load it up for you so you can see that everything's working. So this one also does save. I think this was actually one that I made. This one should be that one. But if you were to go to the auto clicker section, and if you were to close the app and reopen it, it'll go ahead and bring up everything, every setting that you have, the mouse click positions, it'll save those. That way you don't have to re-click those every time, because I know playing Roblox, when you're playing, you don't want to get disconnected for the 20 minutes. You got to find where that button is going to be. And for me, I would have to turn off the Wi-Fi or unplug my Ethernet port and then wait for the screen to pop up. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. Eventually, I'm going to add in a preset button for games, or like a coordinate preset where you can say, hey, this is this coordinate for this game, or even have just whole presets for settings and everything. So back to the ghost input mode. Got the record. I'm going to go ahead and record something for it. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. I believe the record was F6. So I'm going to record. We'll start with shadows. Close that off. Just going to click some random stuff. Settings, quest, that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. And I'll bring it back up. Close it off. Alright, so it's got everything that I just did right here. And I'm going to go ahead and hit F8 to play this recording. Let me make sure what speed it's on real quick before I do that. Make sure it's not 100 times. So I'll use 3 times speed. And F8. There we go. Obviously, it's too fast for some of the clicks to happen because of the time it takes for some of these windows to open. So just prove everything works. I'll go in here, save, change that to, just keep it simple, test 3, close it, reopen it, load macro, document, test 3, and F8. And it's still on the 3 times speed. And there we go. And it'll keep going indefinitely, or however many times as you have it set. There we go, guys. So if y'all are interested in this, just let me know. I'll go ahead and see if I can find a place that I can post a file to. I would like to try to sell this version, where it's the version 3, where it's got the ghost input. I'll probably make the one that's got the single point and the multi-point. I'll probably make that one free, or probably just give this ghost input mode to maybe a few YouTubers that are well known that could advertise it for me. I might give it to a few friends or whatnot, but I might have to start doing some branding at the bottom for those who I give it out to, so that they can't be just giving it out to everybody just because they feel like they can. But alright, thank you guys, and I hope you all have a good one.